So one level of change around social media is what we talked about in terms of our individual interactions. But think about culturally how this has actually changed the way in which we interact globally, let's call it. So we've talked about some of the journalistic changes. We've talked about some of the where we get our news from and so forth. But let's look at things like what's happened in Ukraine. Let's look at things like what's happened in Egypt. When the individuals in Egypt went to the streets and were tweeting about what was going on there, posting videos and posting pictures and so forth, the way in which we gather that information, which before would have been behind a closed wall, is very different to the global market of what we see. Now, what you do with that information is obviously up to you, but globally, culturally, it's opened us up to really look and see what is really happening, at least from an individual's perspective. I remember when the thing in Egypt happened, I was actually in New York, and my driver in New York happens to be Egyptian, and he was showing me live on his phone, streaming what was going on because one of his friends was there in the square as it was going on. That's completely changed the way that we ingest information and news around the globe and gives us a complete different perspective about what we feel about that, because seeing that image, whether it was right or wrong, is irrelevant, but seeing that image, it creates a certain immediate reaction that ultimately stays with you for a period of time. Those types of things are ultimately changing our culture globally and how we look at information, how we act to global responses, and so forth.